One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Woo! Hello guys and welcome back to this one. Exciting one as always. But yeah, I guess funny how I started off not being the biggest fan of, algorithms, but yeah, being on it for this long, I kind of see the essence of it and basically makes it very, very interesting. But yeah, besides the point. Today we'll be looking at something interesting. We're still on the binary tree. That's chapter 10. We are still on the binary tree, and today we'll be looking at something that's actually profound, kind of a differentiator from binary tree to binary search tree, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. And then we look at the lowest common ancestor, right? So basically, what is an ancestor? An ancestor is basically a parent, or not a parent necessarily, but a subtle parent. How do I mean? So we not a subtle parent, but like any node that precedes a node or links to a node, right, is basically an ancestor. So let me give context to what I'm saying. Now we are looking at this node and we are trying to find out, what is its so we're trying to find out what is its ancestor, right? And then we say what are the parents or the subsequent nodes that actually precedes this node, and we look at 9 as one of them, and we also have this guy as one of them. So these are basically the ancestors of this guy. You see that this guy and this guy also shares the same ancestor, right? There might be no. Yep. 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 So we see here now that this guy is actually one. They also share the same ancestor, right? So basically, this is the ancestor of this guy. This is an ancestor of this guy and this guy, or a mutual ancestor of this guy and this guy, or not. Also, this guy is a mutual ancestor, right? But we are looking at now. We've established what an ancestor is, right? An ancestor is like a how do you say? Basically, a node that precedes another node or tracks or above another node. So it is basically any node that that precedes a node in sense of hierarchy or in sense of level, right? And basically there has a direct connection to that node, right? So this is an ancestor to this node, and this is also an ancestor to this node, and these are the two ancestors it has. This guy also has this as an ancestor and as an ancestor. So now our question is basically finding the lowest common ancestor. So when we say the lowest common ancestor, obviously this means that we are looking at two nodes, and we're trying to find out, what's the lowest common ancestor. So basically, as I earlier said, you see that this guy and this guy has the same ancestor in 9 and also in 6, right? So we see that these are ancestors of 8 and 4. These are their common ancestor, but which is the lowest common ancestor? And we could see that that is 9 because it's the one that is directly preceding them. Now when you look at 2 and say 8, right, who are their ancestors? The ancestors of 2 and 8 or 9. For 8 is 9 and 6. For 2 is what? 6 alone, right? Who is now their lowest common ancestor? Say we had another guy, 6 pointing to another guy, and maybe 2 pointing to something subsequently before pointing to 6, right? We would consider that also as an ancestor of 2. But for this case, the lowest common ancestor of 8 and 2 is 6, because the two of them share him as their lowest common ancestor, basically, as we've defined. So yes, that's what we are going to be trying to find out. Who is the lowest common ancestor between two given nodes, and how do we go about finding that? Muchas gracias. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bye.